All right, everybody, let's talk about college football playoff rankings. It is shaken up big time, but not the way some people want. In fact, many Texans are hoping for one particular school, and they may not be making it. Despite the emotional win over A&M, the Longhorns barely budged into all of this, and let's break down what this means, okay? So we have the expert in the house. Co-host of CW39's H-Town Sports Talk Show, Kim Davis, is here to break it all down. We got a lot to unpack real quick. So people are talking about a number of schools. We're talking about Texas Tech.
Right.
We're talking about Texas A&M. We're also talking about the University of Texas, the Longhorns. And when it comes to the Longhorns' fate in this, some people are happy, some people are very upset. So there's a lot going on, a lot of moving parts. So what happened last night and what's going to happen this weekend?
So last night, what the committee did was come together and say, here are the rankings that as we see them today.
Yes.
They also said, you know, some things could change this weekend. They said teams that play this weekend could change and move, and teams that don't play could move. That sounds kind of strange, but it just depends. So the college championships, the conference championships could have an impact. For instance, Big Ten won't change, right? Indiana, Ohio State, they're both undefeated. They're both going to be playoffs bound, and they'll have buys.
Yes.
But there's some other teams that could be impacted. You mentioned University of Texas. They probably will be on the outside looking in. They're a 3-loss team. It was an emotional, big win for them over Texas, but it didn't really change their fate in terms of the postseason. I mean, I get Coach Sark really making a push for it.
He did, big time.
And he had some good points. It won't change the industry, but I don't think they're going to get in, right? So they're upset. Texas Tech moved up.
They're number 4, right?
They're number 4. I think the team that may have surprised some people was that Ole Miss moved up over A&M. I thought A&M might drop to 6. They dropped to 7. They're both still going to be in. I thought that was probably one of the surprising things.
Now, but also with Ole Miss, because of the coach situation, since they lost the coach, he's going to LSU, that could have impacted things
It could have impacted things, except that the defensive coordinator is now the interim head coach, and the offensive coordinator stayed.
Gotcha.
I think if those moves had not happened, then that may have impacted how the committee looked at Ole Miss.
Gotcha.
So you have that going on. So yeah, they're going to be teams on the outside looking in. I mean, Texas Tech getting up to 4, I think was surprising. But
that was surprising a lot of people.
They played really well. Of course, they play in the Big 12 championship this weekend. BYU's on the outside looking in.
It's interesting.
It's interesting. They may get a shot. I mean, it looks like the committee feels stronger about a Miami, perhaps.
There's been really a lot of people pushing for Miami to get in there.
So it's a lot of, it's interesting this time of year. Everyone's very emotional, and it will really all come together this following weekend.
Now, the question I have, I got a lot of questions with this, because, I mean, for so long people had pushed for the college football playoffs, and now people are questioning some of the decisions being made because of the way people performed at the beginning of the season, as opposed to how they're performing at the end of the season. With what happens this weekend, what is the biggest impact you think could happen if one particular team loses or wins?
So we were talking about college championship, conference championship weekend.
Right.
So if a team plays in a conference championship and their ranking changes, they find themselves on the outside looking in because of what happened in those championships.
Yes.
I think the biggest impact is that maybe team starts declining those invitations.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, in the future,
to the championship games?
To the conference
playoff?
Championship.
Oh.
If this is going to impact me getting in the college football playoffs, well, maybe I won't go.
Wow.
That's a possibility, and if that happens, you know, that's a really, really multi-million-dollar, maybe billion-dollar those championship games, they go away. Now that's extreme.
That is.
But that is.
People are talking about
But that's the thing. Like, I don't. If I go to my conference championship, is that going to impact my position in the college football playoffs? Because that's what people want.
Right.
They want to get there to try to win a national championship.
Exactly. That's what every single college wants to win, a national championship.
A&M lost to Texas. They still in the hunt to try to win a national championship.
Right.
Right.
That's the truth. That's the truth. But okay, so what happens after all of the championships and things that happen this weekend? Then we'll have everything officially set.
Officially set, and we'll know who plays who. I mean, right now, if it started like today, it'd be A&M would play Notre Dame.
Yes.
Right.
Which would be a rematch from when they beat Notre Dame. But again, when it comes to the playoffs, everything else changes.
Yeah.
Because you never know what can happen in the playoffs, for sure.
Absolutely. That's the fun thing about this, right?
That
It's the
is.
fun thing. You got to play the game, and teams are different than they were earlier in the year.
That's true.
But all those games matter.
Yeah, everyone's out there for the hunt.
Yeah.
It's a championship. It's big.
It's
Kim,
big.
it's always good to see you. Remind
you.
everybody where we can actually watch you and listen to you as well.
On Friday night, you can catch me and Brad Gilmore. I want to call him Brad Gilbert, the tennis player. I'm giving him way too much credit. On H-Town Sports Talk at 10 o'clock right here on the CW.
I love it. It's always good to see you. You
Good to
always
see you.
follow everything she does on CW39.com as well. She knows the sports people. She does. Okay.